Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel, and as you can tell we're back in the kitchen again because I'm trying out a recipe. Now this recipe, I actually got the recipe from Patty on Patty's Life with Patty, but I'm kind of adapting it to my own taste. And it's like it's little egg muffins, I guess that's what you call it. So let me put the camera down over here and I'll show you the ingredients that I'm putting in mine. Okay, now, I'm going to be making 6 of these. So what I've done, I've sprayed the muffin pan ahead of time. You can butter it or oil it, whatever you've got. I had spray, so I used that. And then she just put the eggs and the onions and mushrooms and stuff in hers, but I'm using biscuit dough in mine. Then I have some cheese, some mushrooms, eggs, and what I did, I added my seasoning to the egg, like your garlic, your salt, pepper, whatever you want, just add it into your eggs. And when I made them the first time, I had 6 muffins, so I put 6 eggs in, and I found out that was way too much with the other ingredients. It caused them to overflow. So this time I only have 4 eggs in here, and then I have some onions chopped up. And you have to dice everything up really small so that it'll fit into your cups. And then I have some ham that I've chopped up. So what I'm going to do to start, you take a biscuit, and the entire biscuit, you don't have to cut it in half or nothing like that, unless you just want to. And you just kind of mash it down to where it fits in the muffin tin. And it really doesn't even have to cover the whole entire muffin tin. You know, it can just basically cover the bottom, because with all this other stuff in there, there's going to be plenty of stuff to fill it out. So just kind of mash that out to where you think it'll fit. And I tried doing it with a rolling pin, and it was just easier to do it with my hands. So that's what I went back to. Let me show you how to do the first one, and then I will go ahead and do the others. So you stretch this out, pick it up, and then you're going to kind of lay it down into your pan. And you might have to adjust it a little bit. Like I said, it's not going to cover the whole thing like that. It won't cover the whole thing. I mean, you could probably make it cover the whole thing if you want, but this will rise up as it's cooked, and it'll make it plenty. So let me go ahead and fill the rest of the muffins, and then I'll show you when I put the ingredients in. Here's what your tins will look like. And as I said, you can make these cover if you want to by mashing it up, but it's really not necessary, because when you put the ingredients in there, it's going to fill them up. So what you'll do is, if you're using a can of biscuits that's got 10, after you fill this, you're going to have 4 of the biscuits left over, and I'll show you in a minute what I do with those. So then you're going to start putting your ingredients in. And this is just a matter of taste. If you like a lot of onions, put in a lot. If you don't like any, don't even put onions in. I'm just putting like maybe a half a teaspoon in, just to give it a little onion flavor. Put the lid back on the onions. And then you have your mushrooms, and you chop them up really, really fine. Put a little dab in each cup. And the reason I always start off with a little, to make sure that each cup has at least got some. Then I go back and I add more to the ones that look like they didn't get as much, so that they're all pretty much filled the same. Here's what it looks like so far with the mushrooms. Then you're going to take your ham and put in there. You could also use cooked bacon, or cooked sausage that you've crumbled up, whatever you prefer. I already have the ham here, so that's what I'm using. And once again, I put a little in each cup, and then I go back and add extra to the ones that look like they need a little bit more to make sure they've all pretty much got the same amount till it's all gone. Now this is the tricky part. You're going to put the eggs in now. And the way I've done it, if you have a bowl that's got like a funnel lip on it, or a cup, you know, a measuring cup that's got like a funnel like this that you could use, that would work, which I don't have any of that. So I have taken an ice cream scoop, and I'm going to put 1 scoop in each muffin tin to start off with. And once again, this is just to make sure that each one's got a little bit in it. And then after this, I will go back and add the rest of it. Now, take your cheese, and you can use any kind of cheese. This is Colby Jack and Monterey. You can use Mexican. You can use cheddar, Italian cheese, and any kind that you want, mozzarella. And you just put a tiny little bit on each cup. And I love cheese, so I always put probably more cheese than it needs to be in there because I really enjoy the taste of cheese and things. Just put it in there till you feel like it's got enough to cover your taste. That looks like that's pretty good. Put the lid on these. Now here's what you're going to do with your leftover biscuits. You're going to mash them out flat, just like you did when you put them down in the cups. Then you're going to take a knife and you're going to cut them in tiny little slips. After you cut your little slips up, you're going to lay them on these like a little pie. They're kind of sticky, that makes it hard to lay, but you'll see it'll work. There's what the first one looks like. Now I'll go ahead and do the rest of them, and then I'll let you see what that looks like after I get it finished. Okay, here's what they look like after they're finished. And they did the same thing when I made them before. I was able to cover all of them except one. So this one just cooks up like normal. And like if they're hanging over the sides just a little bit, I always just kind of push them down in there. If they hang off a bunch like this, I take a knife and cut it, and then I use that little piece that I cut off to put on another. Then after you get this all done, if you want to brush the tops with butter, sprinkle Parmesan on it or something, you can. And then it goes in the oven at 350 degrees. And I cook it for the time that it said on the biscuits, which was 13 minutes. So that's how long I cook it, is for 13 minutes. So I will put this in the oven, and then at the end of 13 minutes, I will come back and show you what they look like. YouTube time, 13 minutes. See ya. Okay, I'm back now, and the egg muffins are done. And I'm going to show you what I did with them. Now, I always take them out, and put them inside of a plastic Ziploc bag. Here's what they look like. And the reason they got that big top like that, that's what I was saying about putting the egg in. It overflows and it pushed the cheese out and caused it to spread across the top. So what I do when I get them out, I just leave that on there and eat it because it's good. And I found that when you're taking them out of your muffin tin, if you wait until they cool completely down, you can take a little knife, loosen them just a little bit, and lift them, and they'll pop right out. And that's all you have to do. Now let me take one and break it open so you can see what they look like in the middle. They look really good. And as I had told you before, this is the second time I've made these. And when I made them the first time, they were really, really good. I know these are going to be good too. And I am going to be sharing 3 of these with my neighbor because I made 6. So I'm taking half of them over there to him. So I hope you enjoy this recipe and that you may want to try it also. Thank you for coming and visiting with me in my kitchen again tonight. Thumbs up for those of you who enjoyed this recipe. Got a little egg under my thumb. Thumbs up. And y'all come back and see me any old time. Bye for now.